Hello and welcome to Sovereign Earth, number 15, episode 15. And this broadcast, until a few hours ago, it was going to be on the subject of blessing. And blessing still comes into this new topic, but I'm inspired by what's happened over the last couple of days and spontaneously, and you'll take it as more rough and ready as it comes. I'm inspired by what I've experienced in London with the Heartful Activism that's been going on and is going on as I speak, which is why I want to give a blessing to all those still there. And some of those who were there with me, I see, are joining. Carol, I saw you up there in the distance as I was in an action. Mark Taft from Leicester, welcome. John King, dear old friend, and all of you, your friends. And Lynn Genevieve, beautiful to think of you up there in Scotland, in the wilds, a beautiful place. So, yeah, Isalinda Damas, good evening. If I lose this broadcast, as has happened a couple of times, I'll try once more, and then I'll leave it there. Jennifer, welcome. Lovely to see all these blessings coming through. It's lovely to know you're there. And yeah, we join together and something magic kicks in, for me at least. So this is all about, Sovereign Earth is all about. Hello, Jane Myatt, and welcome. This is all about standing up for the earth. Speaking up for she who has no voice. Very powerful being is the earth. And she doesn't have a direct voice, at least most people aren't listening. More and more are. And this is what Sovereign Earth is all about. So, I know I've used this before and I'll use it again if I can. So it's about, what are we doing? We're putting heart, excuse me, we're putting, oh, too near to the camera, hey, heart, back into the earth. Can you see that? Whoops. You get the idea. There we are. Heart back into the earth. We're putting heart back into the earth. And my goodness, what's going on in London is about putting heart back into the earth. And I'm going to describe a few of my experiences shortly. And I may go on a little longer than 20 minutes tonight. You'll forgive me or tune out when you're ready. I'm going to sing a song, which is what it's all about. You'll know it perhaps from before, and thank you, John. There's a link in this from John. This came via a friend of John's. John taught it to my friend Nathan, and then it came to me. I am the land. It kind of is, for me, the anthem of Extinction Rebellion. I'd like it to be more widely so, but anyway, hear it and join in if you know it or care to. I am the land that is all that I am. I am the land that is all that I am. I am the land that is all around me. I am the land that is all that I am. I am the land that is all that I am. I am the land that is all that I am. I am the land that is all around me. I am the land that is all that I am. John says they're singing along. I am the land that is all that I am. Ooh. I am the land that is all that I am. I am the land that is all around me. I am the land that is all that I am. So thank you, John, for being instrumental in that song coming to me via 3 links from its original source. And that's how much of this work operates. We're all feeding and nourishing each other, songs and stories, and heartfulness and soulfulness. So there's a lot of talk of sovereignty, isn't there, at the moment? So much talk of sovereignty in relation to, I want my land's sovereignty, I want my country to be sovereign and to have the power back, but it's all about grabbing power and excluding others, whereas sovereign earth is all about giving power back to where its source. We are sorcerers all, returning power to the land, to sovereign earth. And how important and vital is that work? Now, I want to share a few of my experiences just over this last couple of days. Actually, before that, I was going to read it at the end, but there's a poem I came across. I mean, would you believe this was written in 1951 by a guy called Christopher Fry? It's actually not a poem, it was part of a play. I haven't got this. Oh, the play was called Asleep of Prisoners. But these words were written nearly 70 years ago, and they just sing to me now. I mean, gosh, wake up call. Asleep of Prisoners, Christopher Fry. The human heart can go the length of God. Dark and cold we may be, but this is no winter now. The frozen misery of centuries breaks, cracks, begins to move. The thunder is the thunder of the flows, the thaw, the flood, the upstart spring. Thank God our time is now. When wrong comes up to face us everywhere, never leaves us till we take the longest stride of soul men ever took, women too. When wrong comes up to face us everywhere, never leaves us till we take the longest stride of soul men ever took. Affairs are now soul-sized. The enterprise is exploration into God. Where are you making for? It takes so many thousand years to wake, but will you wake for pity's sake? So that's from my book of Shinings. I turn to this, look at it, full of writings and scribblings and lots of songs and stories. So I found that, and it resonates in this moment. Yeah, what was it? Well, we take the longest stride. It's a call to arms, sleep of prisoners. We're facing a lot of challenges, yes. Wrong comes up at every turn, but we can do something about it. And many people are motivated, and it's totally inspiring. I went up to London with some trepidation on Sunday, trepidation and great excitement. I'd been there before, and I knew it would be different. I went with no expectation, really, but I knew the police tactics would be a little firmer, shall we say, although they were still not unreasonable compared to many places in the world. So I went up on Sunday with my partner Fleur, and we're part of something called the Red Rebels, the Red Brigade. You might have seen it on the news. The red people walking around dressed in red, silent, and with a mask of white paint, red, black eyelash, and all red headdress. Very, very moving, very powerful. Once we don that mask, don that cloak, and don that persona, we become one. We become a red serpent, a red dragon, a red expression of something beyond words. And we walk around, going to places where there is action, and the silence and the movement, slow movement, very powerful. It really inspires, and it imbues a sense of silence and stillness around, so it can de-escalate where a bit of anger's bubbling up. Anyway, we did an action at the opening ceremony on Sunday, and that was very beautiful. And then yesterday morning, quite early, I went to Lambeth Bridge, which was where our kind of area, the southwest, was covering Lambeth Bridge as a faith bridge. Fascinating. And when we got there about 9 o'clock, and one or two others of here, some of you might have been there. The bridge, there was a line of police. I was familiar with this from the spring when I was up there for 5 days. Lines of police, and there were quite a lot of people on the bridge already, but they were kind of closed in, and they were being arrested a lot, and quite a lot on there, probably about 150 maybe, and a lot of them were being arrested. But a lot of us couldn't get on the bridge, they blocked us off. And what evolved was quite beautiful. Sounds strange in that environment, but it's interesting, isn't it? I'm moved to tears. And what was interesting for me was how many people there were moved to tears, police included. Seriously, more than one policeman, a few policemen were in tears. Why was that? Because it's something beyond words, something moving, something about compassion. So on my left, there were several priests with dog collars, some nuns behind me, some Buddhists kneeling in front of me, and there me, a Druid. A Muslim leader spoke. Really magical. Prayers, songs, such heartfulness. And it came to me, I was reminded of another time, long time ago, 1997, at Newbury at a protest. I was reminded of an action I took there, and spontaneously I went up to each of the policemen one by one, starting on my right and working along to my left, right the way along. And I went up to them and I said, I bless you with love. And I looked them in the eye and said that. And I didn't know I was going to do that till the last minute. Anyway, I said, I bless you with love. Every one of them eventually looked me, most of them straight away, they looked me in the eye. And Fleur, who was watching, and others said there was a shift in their energy. And this is where one or two, well, Fleur said 3 cried. It was very moving. They're compassionate beings, and I did feel love for them, and they got it. They got it. One or two were looking behind, and then I was there in front of them, and they jumped, and then we laughed. So it wasn't all deadly serious or pious, but it was very beautiful. But I was just moved by. There was talk of the Archbishop of Canterbury coming, because we were on Lambeth Bridge. That's the Lambeth Palace where he lives. It's just down the road, and there was talk of him coming. I don't know if that happened, but there was also talk there. While we were there, we heard, I don't know if it's true, but it'd be lovely if it were, the Chief Constable of Cornwall has joined XR. So it seems a bit extreme, but I mean, who knows? I know there are several police and who are XR, more than several, and many more who have sympathy for. So while Boris Johnson talks about uncooperative crusties, those of us who are up there know that's not how it is. That there's some beautiful uncooperative crusties amongst the many thousands of ordinary people. As we're singing there, there's cotton-top grannies being carried off the bridge by policemen, being arrested. Ancient grannies and grandpas too, older folk, young folk. They were all there, all genders, all ages, all faiths. And I was reminded of I'll say it, I am not a Christian, yet Christ is all around. I'm not a Buddhist, yet Buddha is my ground. I'm not a Muslim, yet Allah's here in all I see. I'm not a Hindu, yet Krishna speaks to me. I'm not an atheist, yet nothingness counts too. I walk the path of Yahweh, although I'm not a Jew. None of these and all of these and more. If one excludes the others, love's truth goes out the door. Come build a mighty rainbow, embracing all beliefs and creeds. Form something even greater than our wildest dreams exceed. Dream this mighty rainbow, encircling the earth. Sacrifice our dogma, celebrate rebirth. Now, many of you will have heard that poem, but in that moment, and in this moment, interestingly, it really resonates and comes true. I mean, dream this mighty rainbow, rainbow encircling the earth. On that bridge with all faiths and none, sitting, kneeling, praying, singing, it was just magical and really, yeah, the greater faith, the greater, yeah, the divinity beyond is sovereign earth for me. And I think, yeah, that's for others too, drawn there. It's quite moving to see police trying to arrest priests with dog, and they didn't find it easy. Didn't find it easy. Anyway, where am I? So this was the feeling as we were all there. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family, this is unity, this is celebration, this is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing our heart song. This is family, this is unity, this is celebration, this is sacred. So what we experienced together there was sacred. It's not what the media necessarily show, but it was very moving, and many people went away, changed in a subtle way, heartful way. So heartful activism is profoundly capable of change. And yeah, I want to put out a call. And part of the reason I changed the title or changed the subject matter for this evening, and I'll do blessings another time. Although not next week, because I'm in hospital for an operation on my hip, so I'll be out of action, because this time next week I'll just have had an operation. I won't do a broadcast next week. I'll do one hopefully the week after. I'll let you know. But this heartful activism called to me and calls to me this need. Right now there are many people very much involved up in London. And the media will try and make out that it's a particular type of person, or that you don't want to get involved because you'll get arrested. I think if you want to get arrested, you can. But I can say, if you don't want to get arrested, you don't need to, because you'll get a warning always, and you'll have time to move, as we have done several times. But it's as if the police, their tactic is to intimidate and to scare people away. Actually, if enough people are up there, they're overwhelmed. They can't deal. They couldn't deal yesterday with the numbers, and that's my impression from today as well. So many people, just peaceful, non-violent, heartful activism, presence. That's all that's needed. I'd encourage anybody who's able, maybe just some of you have already, and others, I know many of you are abroad, and you will do your own thing. But I'm just hoping the message gets out. The more people can get up there, just as solidarity and just to show willing. You don't have to be anything other than present. It's transformative. Yeah, later yesterday, there was another action, just very briefly. I was part of the Red Rebels again. There were 76 of us. I mean, there were 45 of us on the first day and 76 yesterday. Unbelievable presence and transformative. We did several amazing actions. I mean, we faced off a whole huge bunch of police, and again, they can't deal with it. They don't know what to do, and some were moved to tears, some were spooked. But we stood outside the Treasury in a huge semicircle outside the Treasury building, all this in this red regalia, very dramatic, true theatre, beautiful. And people were coming out on it from the Treasury, lots of people who had been at work. They were kind of, oh my God, what's this? Some were moved and some were a bit bothered by it, but most were sort of, wow, that's amazing. And it was. Anyway, performance art as a transformative vehicle for heartful activism. So for those who can, tell your friends, anybody able. For everyone that gets up to London, I think it makes a difference. I'm hoping to go back before I go into hospital. So what I wanted to do, I said this might run on a little bit longer than a normal length, but I want to, if possible, I'd like to share with you, if I can find it, I want to share with you the XR vision. So Extinction Rebellion, their heartful vision. So, and this is an evolving statement, but again, it's in my book of Shinings. So here we go. Our vision is of a world where love and kindness are the fabric of life. It's a world where we care for and nourish the beauty of this great earth, living side by side with all people and all forms of life. In this world, people live in cooperation, at peace with themselves and with each other. In this world, we recognize Earth as our greater body, caring for its clean water, its pure air, and the soil that brings us food. In this world, we find new meaning and purpose to our lives as we create communities where everyone matters and everyone is seen, felt, and heard. It's a world where we demonstrate love, compassion, and courage to face whatever comes. It's a world beyond borders and divisions, a world that lives in balance and harmony. All nature and all beings are seen as equal, appreciated and understood as interwoven strands in the fabric of life. Here we have regained a sense of magic and mystery in life. Our children are safe to grow, play, and explore. The future is assured for them and for generations to come. We know the truth of this vision. The map to this is the map of the human heart. We know the truth of this vision. The map to it is the map of the human heart. We know the world can work this way. We know it is what the world is calling for. And we know we have all the love, beauty, and genius that is required. We will not shirk our international responsibilities for climate, social, economic, and ecological justice. Join us, you will be welcomed. Bring all you are and all you have, your uniqueness with its strengths, its quirks, its energy, all this is welcome. Your rebellion is the greatest gift you have to give. The courage of your heart and the knowing of your truth. Together, birth the beauty of your being. Let's say that bit again. The courage of your heart and the knowing of your truth. Together, birth the beauty of your being. It's what the world needs most right now. Bring that and let it guide your life. In this emergency, together, rooted in love, we are all we need. In this emergency, together, rooted in love, we are all that we need. Now, not everyone's way might be maybe Extinction Rebellion. That might not call to everyone, but there'll be a way. There'll be a way for each of us, heartful. There'll be a way for each of us to put heart back in the earth. We'll all find our own way. We know what it is. Okay, I'm just going to have a drink. So for anyone left out there still with me, I'd like to finish with the song. I sang this song. Yeah, there was a discussion. Yes, we were presented with 3 options by the police. Stay where you are and be arrested, or likely be arrested. Move to the side and possibly arrested, or go to the other end of the bridge, join your colleagues. And for now, we'll leave you alone, but probably arrest you later. And there was a debate took place, very beautiful. How people are listened to. There's a different program, but there's a great system for hearing each other. And then at the end, they called for a song, and nobody stood up. And I said, "I've got one," and you'll know this, but it was so well received, but it was so right in the moment, and really sang. And I'd like us, it's deep into the earth I go, deep into the earth I know. Hold my hand, sister, hold my hand, brother, hold my hand. So I invite us to close our eyes for a minute, all of us, I'll do it too, and come together in this global grove, because we're scattered all over this earth. There are people on here from different countries across the waters. So let's join hands in this circle, this magical circle spanning sovereign earth, spanning our sacred earth. We join together, and just in community and communion, we'll just share this song to finish. Deep into the earth I go, deep into the earth I know, deep into the earth I go, deep into the earth I know. Hold my hand, sister, hold my hand, ooh. Hold my hand, brother, hold my hand. Deep into the earth I go, deep into the earth I know, deep into the earth I go, deep into the earth I know. Hold my hand, sister, hold my hand, hold my hand, brother, hold my hand. So I'm holding hands with each of you, and I can feel you encircle out there. Together we're stronger. Together we can change. those things that appear broken. We can work together. Sending love and blessings to you. May we send our love and blessings out into the world for the good of all beings. Okay. So in a moment I'll sign off. Just to confirm, I won't be able to do a broadcast next week. I've got several subjects in mind, but lots of love to you all. Heartful activism, whatever and wherever you are. Bye for now.